Howdy, ladies and gentlemen and programmers. We're going to do a calculator project. So basically what we're doing is we have finished lesson 5 in Code Academy, and we're going to do a project that reinforces all the stuff that we have learned. Okay, so we're going to, in this particular lesson, lesson 1, we're going to create a class header, a constructor, and a main method. And throughout the whole project, we're going to do all of this stuff. All right, so you can click on this link, type in that link. The other thing you can do is you can go to the assignment in Google Classroom, and then there's the link to how to log in. Okay, so make sure when you log in, you use your school Gmail and use a password you're always going to remember. So I'm not going to. You can pretty much log in on your own. I'm not going to show you how to do that, but log in to Codiva. We're going to use that as so we learn stuff in Code Academy, and we're going to apply it using this new website called Codiva. Okay, so in your notes, put down your Codiva login name or your email you use. It should be your school email, and then write down your password, and then please do a bookmark. If you don't know how to make a bookmark, ask me. If you don't know what a bookmark is, ask me, because I don't want you in a week like, how do I get to Codiva? What's my name? What's my password? I don't know. You're making this account yourself, so be responsible. Write this stuff down and create a bookmark, please. Okay, by the way, so there's 3 ways to do these projects. So number 1 is during class. This is what you should do. Here's the best way. Here's the appropriate way. The other 2 are lame ways, but they're ways. All right, the way you're supposed to do it is we're in class, and we're going to do this live, and you're going to do it during class, and you're going to ask me for help, and I'm going to show you how. But the idea on this project is you try it and try it and try it, and if you really can't get it, then ask for help. But don't just it's not just watching me do it and then copying me, because you don't really learn from that this way. So when we're learning the first time, then that's great, but now you should already know it and you should try it. So the second way is to look at the spiel. So that's the slide. Look at the slideshow, and you can just like scroll through these slides back and through and do it that way. Okay, and then finally, you can watch this video and try to do it yourself. Make sure again that you try to do it. Hit pause on the video, try to do what I say, and then if you can't do it, then hit play on this video and continue on. But the idea is you try to do it yourself before you watch me do it. Okay, so we're going to create a new Codiva project called Calculator and create a public class called Calculator. And so the name of the project and the name of the calculator have to match. Okay, so try it yourself before I show you. Try it yourself before I show you. So create a project in Codiva named Calculator, and then create a public class called Calculator. Okay, so hit pause, try it before I show you. Okay, so you've tried it yourself, so here's what you should do. You should create a new file, and I'm going to call this Calculator, and we're going to save it in chapter 5. So I made you can just put it in, you can say source chapter 5, source whatever. Okay, and then I'm going to hit create. Okay, and so it already starts with class calculator, which is good. So the names automatically match. Okay, so that is good so far. And oh, I didn't realize it did this. I'm kind of learning as I go. So when we make the project, it already creates the class, which is good. So it starts here and ends there. And then another thing it has done is it making the main method for us already. Okay, and so so in here, I want you to do system.out.println and say hello world. My name is Brian Keith Miller. You don't put Brian Keith Miller, you put your name, and then you're going to hit run, and let's see what it is. It says, hello world, my name is Brian Keith Miller. Okay, so we got that done. So I've got all these little consoles. I'm going to close these down. and I'm going to click on this, and it's going to take me back to the project. Let's go back to the instructions. Okay, so inside of the class, create a calculator constructor. You can leave the contents of the constructor empty. Okay, so try it yourself. So you're going to make a constructor for the calculator, and remember it's a special method that runs one time that helps build the calculator. And see if you can do it. Hit pause before you watch me do it for you. Okay, so you're going to go right here, public class, and you're going to hit enter. And we're going to put a comment. This is the constructor. Okay, and you're going to say public, and you're going to say it always has the same name as the class. Calculator, public calculator. Notice it doesn't say void. And then we have our parentheses, which are empty. And then we're going to have our opening and closing bracket, which are empty. And then we're going to hit enter like that. Okay. And then right here, we're going to put, this is our main method. Okay. So let's run that. So that it's not really going to do anything different, but let's run it and see if it worked. And no problems. That's good. Okay, let's go back to the spiel and see what's next on the agenda. All right. Okay, next create a main method. So you can skip this because we already did it. Can you remember all the keys? Okay, so we can skip this one because it's already done. And okay, so now we're going to add a code snippet to the main method that will say, hello, we already did this. All right, we're great. All right. Okay, so add comments near the top of the program that describes what the program does. So let's go ahead and add those. Okay, so we're going to do it right up here, public calculator. This is the constructor. I'm going to do it right here. This will make a calculator that will add, subtract, something like that. Okay, so we have a nice little comment telling us what we've done, what it's going to do. Okay. All right, good. All right, so that's it for part one. Let's go ahead and jump to part two and actually do something a little bit more interesting. All right, so now we're going to create a public method that returns an int and call it add. The add method should accept two int parameters, for example, int a and int b. Okay, so we're going to add and subtract. So when you put in your two numbers, a and b, it's going to add those up. Okay, so see if you can do that. Hit pause on this video. You do it before I show you the solution. Okay, so we're going to make our add method, and so here's our main, here's our class, here's our constructor. So it's going to go right after the constructor. It's going to go before the main method. So we're going to say, so it's public. So it returns something, and it returns integer. So it's going to be public int add. Okay, and so we have our parameters, and then we have our opening and closing curly braces. Okay, and so it's supposed to take two ints. So we're going to say int a comma int b. So it takes two integer parameters. Okay, and then we're going to say we have to create a variable int sum equals a plus b. Oops, that should be a plus. A plus b, and then we have to return, we want to return that, so we're going to say return sum. Okay, so when we call on this thing, we're going to do that. Okay, so let's see if there's any issues. So let's run it and see if there's any problems. No problem, so that we're good. We can close that. Okay, so let's go to our next thing here. Okay, so add comments above the add method with your name inside it. Oh, okay, that's easy. Let's go do that. Okay, so we want to go right here, hit enter, go up, and we're going to put comments. So we're going to put your name in there. All right, don't do it like me with lowercase. All right, let's keep moving here. Okay, so now we're actually going to do it. We have to instantiate an instance of the calculator class. So we actually have to make a calculator class inside of the main, create a calculator object called myCalculator. And then we're going to print out the value of calling the add method on myCalculator passive by. It says add comments before this code snippet. So it does. All right, see if you can do that. Okay, so basically we're going to go inside of the main method and you're going to create a calculator object called myCalculator. So it's going to look something like calculator, myCalculator equals new calculator, something like that. All right, see if you can do it. See if you can do it. And then you're going to actually use the add method. Okay, give it a shot. Okay, so we're going to come down here to our main method. And here it is, right there to there is our main method. So we're going to go below this, and we're going to say something like add stuff. Oh no, not yet. So right here we're going to instantiate our calculator. So we're going to basically create a calculator object. So we're going to say calculator. So we say right here we say calculator my calculator equals, we're going to use a new keyword, equals, we're going to make a new calculator. And whenever we make a new calculator, remember we're calling on the constructor over here. So we're asking it to do this method. So we have to put parentheses, parentheses, and then do a semicolon. So we're going to say, hey, build me a new calculator. And so we're storing it in a box called myCalculator. So our calculator is now called myCalculator. Now, your job is to ask myCalculator to do something. Actually, it's not myCalculator, it's your calculator. You got to ask your calculator named myCalculator to do something. So we're going to click right here, and we're going to say myCalculator dot, and we're going to add, okay. And then we always want to put in our semicolon. But what are we going to add? We have to send two numbers. So we're going to say, what are we supposed to say? 5 and 7, something like that. Okay, so 5, 7. Okay, so we're going to send. So we're going to send two numbers up here to our add method, and I'm going to do it. Okay, so that's great, except we're not going to see it. And so let's do our system.out.println. So here we go. Oops, not that. So we're going to do system.out.println. Oh no, you know what we need to do? We need to stash this in a variable. So we're going to say int, you call it whatever you want, new add equals. Okay, so we're stashing the 5 plus 7 in new add. So system.out.println. And we're doing that so that it makes it easy to print it. And we'll stick that in there. And then we'll do our semicolon. Okay, system.out.println new add. Oh, that's supposed to say int. Oops. Okay, so let's hit enter here, and then this comment's going to go right there. This is where we're adding stuff. Okay, so now let's run that and see if that works. So what's 5 plus 7? Hello, okay, so 12. So that's good. It should say, that's not very descriptive. We could have probably made it more descriptive, but that's good enough. Okay, let's go back to our spiel here and see where we're at. Okay, so now we're going to create a similar method called subtract. The subtract method should accept two inner parameters, just like add method does. Inside the subtract method, return the difference of A and B. Okay, so we're just going to copy we're just going to do the same thing here. Okay, let's get as add. Okay, so here is add. So we're going to go right after add, and we're going to say this will subtract. By the way, do this yourself. Try to do this yourself. Hit pause on this video and do it yourself. Okay, so we need to, it's going to be public. We're going to return stuff, so it's we're going to return an integer, public int. By the way, that's only going to allow us to do whole numbers, but that's fine for now. Public int subtract. Okay, and let's do our opening, closing curly braces, and then we're going to have our parameters. We have to send it two things to subtract, so we're going to just use A and B again. Okay, and then we're going to hit enter here, and then we're going to say int difference equals A minus B. Semicolon, int difference equals A minus B, and then we're going to return the difference. Okay, and then we're gonna get it to do it again. Okay, so now we're gonna come down here and we're gonna say int new difference equals my. So we're gonna ask our calculator bit dot subtract, and then we're gonna send it two numbers. What two numbers are we supposed to do? Let's take a look. On the next line, print out the value following the subtract method on my calculator, pass in 45 and 11. Okay, so let's do 45 and 11. 45, comma 11 was 45 months. Oops, what just happened? Okay, and then we're gonna system.out.println new difference. Let's add something to this. Okay, we're gonna set the difference is, and then we're gonna put a plus. Let's do that up here too. Like that. Okay, so let's what's that? Int new. What is it like that? New difference equals. I wonder why it doesn't like it. Oh, I didn't put my semicolon. Oopsie, classic mistake. Okay, so let's run it and see what it's doing. Okay, the sum is 12, the difference is 34. Okay, so that's it for now. So it automatically saves. We're going to come back to this at a later time.